Andrew Partridge from Michell Wool joins us for the second last time this year. The last sale coming up next week. We'll talk about that in a moment, Andrew, but the markets have been a bit... You did warn that with the market closing, people might need to get on with it. A bit like if you're at the country barn dance, it's getting late, you might need to pick a partner.
That's it, mate. You get a bit desperate towards the end, don't you? And you have to jump in and grab anything you can sometimes. But certainly the wool market, fortune follows the brave. It's 3-day sale. I reckon up until sort of late Monday evening before the first bale had been sold, there was still a bit of pessimism in the air, but how long already? Gee whiz. AWEX EMI up 54 cents to 12.78.
Yeah, the band started playing, pulled the violins out and started upping the tempo, and suddenly everyone started dancing and buying wool.
There was not any room on the show floor at all, Ricky. No, the dance floor, I should say. Looking at merinos, like we just rounded off most of the merino rise to $1 a kilo, and 21 microns, $14 clean now. It's up 111 for the week. It's pretty astronomical, really. And there's a bit of a reason for it. The cotton market sort of opened cautiously at the start, and sort of Tuesday night, Wednesday, the bit more optimism coming out of China with the zero COVID policy being sort of relaxed, and even some of those mandatory stations have been taken, just totally dismantled, so they're not to come back. So a bit of relaxing in the minds of the Chinese and flow through to Australia very quickly.
Yeah, it's a fascinating point you make, because I did pick up that there were those protests about the lockdowns. I think a tragedy that had happened in an apartment building, an unprecedented level of protest in China, and suddenly, whether you connect those two things or not, restrictions being eased, people could isolate at home rather in these isolation camps. As you say, they're being dismantled, and suddenly the market's buoyant again. Yeah,
certainly, and given you see the rises that we've had in the last couple of weeks, and most of our listeners will be probably onto this already, but anything more than a 20-cent rise in the market, the Chinese seem to go whimpering. They pull their horns in and just wait for the market to come back. Well, the opposite happened this week. We had our US prices that we booked sort of late last week, and by Tuesday night they'd lifted them 20 and 30 US, which is almost unheard of. They don't normally lift their US prices so buoyantly, so dramatically in this sort of market, particularly with what's going on in the world. So dare we say it, we might have a bit of a bounce.
Yeah, certainly. And when you look at the pass-in rate, that was way down this week. Almost every girl got a dance, and they got one more chance next week.
That's it, yes. And they're again sort of punching 50,000 bales. I think we sold nearly $54 million worth of wool this week, which is a sort of a seasonal high, a financial year high sort of thing. But this sales nearly 50,000 bales. So if we sell most of that, that'll be it'll be a higher number again. And so plenty of wool to go around. The offering's a bit up and down, of course, with the seasonality with colour and overlength wool on the market. But certainly I can't see any sort of, certainly this market, within sort of where it was, would be the first port of call, and be interested to see what happens.
Now, I remember last week we noted that just whilst the market was a bit gloomy the previous week, across the trade across the year, I think it was $1 billion worth of wool had been traded in Australia. And I think we might eclipse that given where things have gone this week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so I think it says I was equating. It took a week longer to surpass $1 billion at the same time last year. So yeah, certainly the way things are going, mate, it's not too bad really when all things considered.
And apart from what we've talked about in China, has there been some positivity on the currency front that's helped us out as well?
A little bit, yeah. So it went back to 67. I think it's punching a little bit higher than that this morning. Again, favouring the brave with the US levels going up in China, and that willingness, I think that early stage sort of processing is fairly limited at the moment, limited in stock, I'm saying. So there's a little bit of refreshing of that going on. So a bit of positivity there. I can't see the market's looking to keep it going this week.
Sounds like the trading floor will be very busy. I'll order myself some popcorn and we'll have our last analysis next week. Andrew Partridge from Michell Wool, thanks for joining us today.
Cheers.